This is big, breaking, emergency news. The FBI just issued a urgent warning, right? They're warning that people are attacking and destroying our country right now, and they are actually actively looking for people that have done this damage, right? Hundreds of homes have been destroyed. There's been casualty events from this, right? And there's been mass evacuations from this event, and the FBI is saying they're searching for people that caused this and that did this, and this could be happening throughout our country, and this could have been happening the past few years. All right, our country is wide open right now. We do not know who is entering and who is exiting our country and who they're bringing in. I've showed a dozen videos of military-aged men wearing camo fatigues moving into our country. Military units that potentially, this is what they look like, right? Military-aged men moving into our country, groups of them wearing camouflage. And there's been millions of gotaways as well that we have no idea who has come into our country. All right, so the FBI is warning that we are under attack, and these attacks are happening in entire neighborhoods. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed right now. Reports of over 500 homes destroyed right now, and the FBI is looking for the person that did this stuff. So this is big. This should be front page news everywhere, breaking news, but these things fly under the radar, right? They are not shown in the mainstream media, and that's why we got to get these stories out. All right, so really quick, just hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on all this big news. And also, really quick, guys, I am starting a channel about my homestead. All right, if you are interested in seeing what I'm doing on my homestead here with the chickens, building coops, building gardens, seeing what's going on behind the scenes here, I'm going to link my channel down below for you guys, so you can go follow that channel if you want to see what's going on my homestead. That channel is going to be called Pat's Homestead. So go check that out. Subscribe over there. Only if you want to see homestead videos. I'm not going to be talking about news on there like I talk about on here, any type of breaking news. It will just be homesteading and behind the scenes what's going on with my life and my farm personally. All right, so check that out if you want to see that type of content and support. Let's get back into this really quick, guys. All right, these attacks are happening on our country, and it's not being taken serious. All right, the FBI is finally issuing this warning, but as a whole, as society, people really write this off and don't take this as a serious threat. But this is an entire form of warfare, is burning the enemy to the ground, burning their resources to the ground, burning their towns and their communities to the ground. This is an entire form of warfare that has been documented for thousands of years. This is one of the most basic forms, is burning the enemy out, destroying their land and destroying their resources and driving them out of these communities. All right, and that's exactly what's happening right now, and the FBI is warning that they are looking for people linked to this major disaster that just happened that destroyed over 500 homes. That's what CBS News is reporting right now, mainstream news. So check out this article here. You can see here it says FBI offers up to $10,000 reward for information about deadly New Mexico wildfires. All right, this is big. These wildfires near Ruidoso, right, have destroyed over 500 homes in this community, and now there's been mass flooding. You can see here, this is a major mudslide that has happened that is closing down highways all throughout New Mexico, and cars are stuck, and the FBI is saying that they believe this was intentional and somebody did this and they are looking for it. All right, this typically means it wasn't just, oh, some guy was camping and he forgot to put out his campfire. This means that, and they're saying they're looking for potentially multiple individuals that did this fire. All right, this is a massive fire that burned over 20,000 acres. It says the FBI on Saturday offered a reward for up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest or the conviction in connection with the deadly New Mexico wildfires. It says federal agency, which said it's still looking to identify the cause of the South Fork fire and Salt Fire, suggested a person might be responsible for the blaze, which began on June 17th. The reward is help in finding a, quote, person or persons responsible for starting the fires. All right, and this has burned over 20,000 acres. And this is right here. New Mexico is right along the border. This is in southern New Mexico. All right, so we don't know what's going on. We don't know who's starting these fires. There are entire sections of the U.S. southern border that are not controlled by the Border Patrol, okay? Entire sections that are controlled by these foreign groups that run the border, that are moving people across, all right? You know what I'm talking about here. And they have complete control over certain areas, and we don't know who's being let in, who's coming across. And America is in a position right now geopolitically where we have foreign enemies. We have foreign adversaries. We are not in a very peaceful situation. All right, this is not détente. This is a edge of war scenario geopolitically. So of course, potentially other countries could be exploiting this vulnerability of having the country wide open, and it's in southern New Mexico right here. All right, so what's going on? What's going on with these things? Are these fires being set intentionally, even if it's somebody, even it's an American citizen doing this? All right, the FBI is saying that somebody is doing it on purpose, and this is probably what's happened dozens and dozens of times with these major fires throughout the US, all right? And there's also these other things that we have to speculate as well. Not saying that's what happened, but there are technologies that can potentially directed energy weapons that could potentially start fires, and we've seen them start fires. There are laser weapons that the US Navy has that can melt entire cars, that can cut right through cars. Lockheed Martin has these laser weapons, and they've had that for a decade. All right, I've seen a video of it. I've even shown the video on here before, all right, of their laser weapons that can melt through a car. All right, so these technologies do exist. I'm not saying that's what happened in any specific case, but the possibility needs to be raised, and we need to be looking at all options, because things aren't just spontaneously combusting. I don't know where that came from, that spontaneous combustion myth. Do you remember that? I don't know why, but for some reason, when I was a kid, I feel like that was a very big thing. It's like when you're a kid, a lot of these random things are just big things. You like quicksand and spontaneous combustion. Like you might just catch on fire one day from the inside out and just combust. All right, I don't know. Let me know down below if that was a thing for you. All right, I feel like that was a big issue when I was a kid, something I was really worried about. But that's not what actually happens. All right, things just don't spontaneously combust. These fires don't just start. And there's always a cause. All right, there's always, even if nobody saw it or heard it or knows, something happened. All right, something did happen, even if it was a lightning strike or something along those lines, which is still very rare to start a fire. But someone had to start it. All right, so make sure you guys are getting ready and getting prepared, right? Because these fires are not going anywhere, and they're spreading to more places. Just earlier this year and last year, Louisiana had massive fires. Some of the biggest ones in their state history have happened in the past 6 months in Louisiana. All right, 6 months to a year, and I've reported on it. All right, and you would think down there in the South, it's it's the swamp. It's literally the Louisiana swamp, right? You think it'd be nice and wet down there and they wouldn't have to deal with any type of situation like this, but even these fires are happening there, right? They're happening all over the place, and they're ruining entire communities, entire neighborhoods, right? You can't go back to these places once they're destroyed like this. They're contaminated, and then insurance won't even cover you to build anything there. The only way you can even live there is if you just build everything out of pocket. You just pay for everything and don't have insurance, pretty much. That's the situation a lot of these people get put in, right? They've lived there their whole life. And some of these villages have been here 100 years, right? They've been there a long time. Some of these homes and villages out west, these little small mountain towns, old mining towns and stuff, and then they're just gone, burnt to the ground, right? So have yourself an evacuation plan and route, right? Have water tanks as well, because a lot of times in these situations the power goes out, right? The power lines get burnt down, and then your water doesn't work either. Your well's not working, the pumps aren't working to keep water pressure, so you don't even have water to protect your home, right? Also look into things like fire ditches are very effective in these situations, right? It's one of the main ways that they stop it is by ripping major ditches to catch the fire, right? So look into that too, especially if you're in a fire prone area. But these things can happen anywhere, right? So thank you guys. Please pray for New Mexico, all right? It's not looking good there, all right? Go check out that other channel, that homestead channel. I'll link it down below for you guys. Check that out if you want to see homesteading videos from me, stuff like that. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.